Natalie Nunn versus Judy J from the Bad Girls Club. We know Judy from BGC New Orleans. We know Natalie from BGC 4. Both of these girls were on Baddies. Both of these girls have been friends and they've been at each other's necks. Well, now, baby, they are going at it on social media. And Judy is accusing Natalie of some major things, some things that we've already talked about before that have already been alleged by Judy and others. But Judy is yet again opening a can of worms with Natalie and possibly the network. And you better believe we're going to talk about it. Welcome back to Damieon After Dark. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet, please click my name down there and you can subscribe to the channel so you never miss an episode. While you're down there, press the thumbs up button and like this video. That helps me get in the algorithm. Join the conversation by getting in the comments section. And if you want to leave a donation, in the description box below will be some ways that you can donate. Thank you guys for the love and support. I appreciate all of you from the bottom of my heart, okay? Now, let's talk about this. I saw this earlier, and I'm like, oh, the girls are girling, okay? Listen, Judy and Sarah, we know Sarah Oliver from BGC as well. Both of these girls were also on Baddies ATL at the beginning. We know that Judy and Sarah have both fell out with Natalie multiple times. Sarah and Natalie have not been on good terms. If you watch Baddies ATL, you've seen why. Judy and Natalie, on the other hand, have had ups and downs, but they seem to be in a somewhat good place. But so what had happened was, what had happened was Sarah and Judy started their own podcast called So Crazy Podcast. So standing for Sarah Oliver and crazy because Judy's supposed to be crazy, you know, so crazy. And on one of their episodes, Natalie was a topic of conversation. Right? Natalie was a topic of conversation. They got to talking about her. And listen, here's the thing. A lot of people were like, oh, move on. Why are y'all talking about Natalie? But Judy and Sarah were a part of the Bad Girls Club, one of the biggest reality shows ever created. Natalie was a part of that as well. If Judy and Sarah got on their podcast and started talking about fashion and beauty tips and shit like that, y'all wouldn't watch. The fans want to hear the drama. They want to hear about the other girls. They want to hear, you know, what do y'all think about baddies? You know, it's just the facts. We can look at the number. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we can say all day long, stop talking about, but people wouldn't watch it, you know? So Natalie was a topic of conversation, so let's play a clip. I want everybody to get the context of what's happening. We're going to play a clip from Sarah and Judy's podcast of what Natalie saw that pissed her off, okay? This is the clip that made rounds on social media. It got kind of popular, and I guess it came across Natalie's desk, and this is what set Natalie off, okay? Now, I don't own the rights to this video. Copyright. This is all for research, teaching purposes, right? So let's roll the footage.
So crazy.
She was talking bad about dark skin for years.
So crazy.
And not even like years like in the past. Like, I mean,
recent.
Just right now.
Yeah, I be seeing comments, and mind you, me and Natalie have no beef. We're just speaking facts. This is the truth.
Yeah.
I sometimes see comments like, oh, Natalie said that years ago. No, Sarah dropped audio of her saying it.
It was 2 years ago. It was when it was after filming Baddies ATL. So season 1 of Baddies ATL that we co-created together, she was still saying it. So this is after season 1 of Baddies, before Baddies South, and clearly those mindset is still in her, but this has been...
I mean, to be honest, y'all, I feel like she goes home and laughs with Jacob all night because she is not ghetto. She's not from the hood.
Yeah.
She doesn't...
No, you want to know why?
She knows that she makes money off of the black culture.
So as we can see there, the girls are talking about Natalie, and Judy is talking about, you know, how it's obvious that Judy was happy that Natalie mentioned her in an article and gave Judy her props in some article, right? But I think where it went sour, what pissed Natalie off, is when they were obviously talking about how Natalie taps into more of the black culture now more than she used to. Natalie is a biracial woman. Now, Natalie's like me. She's biracial, but she presents more of another race, right? Because when you see Natalie, people are going to automatically assume black woman. They're not going to see mixed as much. Same with me. When people see me, they see white most of the time. They don't really see mixed as much. Now, where I feel like I genuinely feel all cultures being biracial, like I truly do. I feel my white side, I feel my black side. I feel them both equally. Um, I feel like Natalie, on the other hand, plays into whichever is convenient for her at that time. If you watched her on BGC back in 2009, before black culture was as popular and prevalent and prominent as it is now, right? It's always been black culture has always been popular. Let's not get it twisted, but it's really like mainstream now, right? Back in 2009, it wasn't as mainstream. Cancel culture wasn't out there like it was. You could say more crazy shit and get away with it. Back in 2009, when we saw Natalie on BGC, she was catering to her white side. She was catering to the white executives at the network and the white women, and she wanted to be like, like the Valley girls, and ew, she's dark skinned. Ew, look at her big wide nose. Like, ew, like, I'm from LA. I run out of LA and I ride private jets and shit. And don't get me wrong, I loved Natalie on her season, but she said some problematic, fucked up shit. And you seem to be a culture vulture, Natalie. You seem to hop to whichever is convenient for you, because now that you're a part of the Zeus network, which is celebrates black success and black excellence, right? Now that you're a part of that network, and now that we're in different times where black culture is really celebrated, you are really playing into the role, right? Because I feel like, just like they said in the clip, Judy said in the clip, she thinks that Natalie goes home to Jacob and they laugh about all this shit. And I agree with her on that. I think it's all a joke to her. Like, Natalie probably goes home and laughs and is like, yeah, I hate all this ratchet ghetto shit, but the money's good. Like, I could hear her saying some fucked up shit like that. Now, Natalie responded online when she saw this clip. Of course she did. She took the bait. To say the following. All right, now let's post. I'm going to post a screenshot up here. Excuse me, of what Natalie said on her story. Okay, this is what Natalie said on her story. The obsession with me is starting to have me beef up my security. Okay, girl, you couldn't wait to have a reason to tell people that you have security and you're going to beef them up. Whatever, Natalie. I already know how you work. I've been following you 15 years, Natalie. I know how you work, baby girl. Cool, you need security, whatever. These girls are insane. I literally don't even think about no one. I focus on myself. Maybe that's why I'm doing so good. Food for thought. Stop worrying and talking about the next female. You would be so much further in life. Try it. Thank me later. Grammar has never been Natalie's best, you know, subject, I guess. Because everything's always a run-on sentence or an incomplete sentence or, yeah. But, yeah. So Natalie's telling Judy, stop worrying about her. The girls are always talking about her. Their name's always in her mouth. She's got to beef up her security. Blase, blase, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Right? Um... Now, she also went to her Instagram stories. Now, she went to her Instagram stories.
Blah, blah, blah. Please. Natalie, 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 Natalie.
Let's get into the screenshot that she posted between her and Judy. Natalie posted text messages between her and Judy. And in these text messages, I want you guys to pay attention because you'll notice that it looks like Judy is talking to herself, which is typical Natalie fashion. What Natalie did was delete text messages. Natalie deleted the text messages that she sent to make it look like Judy was talking to herself, make it look like Judy was fangirling out crazy over Natalie, wanted blah, 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 I want to get back on the show, right? So Natalie posts these text messages to her story and pretty much trying to let the fans know, trying to lie to the fans and say, look, this girl keeps talking about me, but look at all these messages she sent me, right? Now let's post that up here and we will go through those. Okay, so you'll see here. You see Judy saying, please tell them I promise to bring crazy Judy. This is This is Judy talking to Natalie, and Judy is pretty much saying, tell them, I'll bring the. Now, before we read it, I want you guys to know Judy said that Natalie approached her saying, well, how would you feel about coming back onto Baddies, right? So there's the context to these messages. You don't see that. You don't see that because Natalie has deleted it. But Natalie does that with a lot of girls. And Lucci V, Erica, she's even said it too. She says Natalie would like toy with the idea and try to tease her like, how do you feel about coming on the show, girl? We want you on Baddies. We're going to have a conversation. We're going to have a meeting. So that's what Judy is saying happened here in these text messages. Okay, so keep that in mind. Judy says, please tell them I promised to bring Crazy Judy, and I really didn't get a chance on Baddies ATL. She's talking about the Zeus Network and Lemmy, telling Natalie to please tell them this. I really want to have a redemption. My fans would be shook. Thank you, girl. By the way, your look for Baddies Midwest auditions 8 down. Best look ever. Remind them I'm from Chicago. It would have been full circle. Judy, you can see July 31st. Judy says, unblock me on Instagram. Friday, August 23rd. Judy says, hey babe, are you and Desmond still cool? She sent a little eye emoji on September 15th. Come back up here, you can see where Judy says, yes, I agree. What is she agreeing to? You see what I'm saying? I think, Natalie, that's where you fucked up. You didn't realize when you were deleting all your text messages that this was not going to make sense when we read it. Judy says, yes, I agree. What is she agreeing to? Where is your text messages, Natalie? Yes, I agree. And girl, I tell people that all the time. I'd be like, you saw some bad girls on it, but it was never BGC. Even on the first season, it wasn't BGC because sorry, Musty Ass wasn't on BGC. I think she's talking about Sydney Star, and they're referencing how season 1 was nothing like Bad Girls Club. The second paragraph, she says, I truly appreciate you giving me flowers in that article. That was so dope, for real. Me and Sarah started a podcast, and of course, we talked about you. Nothing bad. I'm like, Judy, nothing bad. This would have been the chance for you to say, look, this is what we said in the podcast. I want you to know before it plays. But you said nothing bad. Y'all didn't think Natalie was going to get mad when y'all started talking about the whole culture vulture shit. Okay. Um, But then again, Judy should be able to say her opinion. Natalie is the one who came back to her to come on the show. Judy has always stated that she would never go back to the show, but now she's saying that with the success of the show and with the followers that come with it and the money that comes with it, she would be willing to go back. And I think that's why they had this conversation here, because Natalie presented her with it. She said, we started a podcast. Of course, we talked about you, nothing bad. But I was like, yeah, Natalie gave me flowers. Sarah said I posted it 1,000,000 times. I said, yeah, I'm going to post it again. Okay, we saw that on their podcast. We heard them talk about that. And we see in the last paragraph where she says that Judy says that she wishes she would have came on Baddies later because the followers skyrocketed. And Sydney ruined her experience. Hopefully he lets me pop up in Chicago just to say hi, LOL. And then she says, your rebrand is crazy. And I do see where Sydney's coming from. Being on Baddies now is way more profitable and way more worth it than it was in the beginning. They didn't have the money, success, followers they did on Baddies ATL. Now they're like rolling in cash. So, I mean, and I can see why Judy and even Sarah's not going to admit it, but I'm sure they sit back like, fuck, we should have we should have stayed in Natalie's good graces for a few more years and got this money before we flipped on her ass, right? Because listen, a lot of these girls on Baddies don't like Natalie. They just kiss her ass to be on the show and be in there. To be a part of that show. That's why I think she should not be a cast member, because you have to kiss her ring to be on the show. And that's no fun to watch when everybody's just a robot, right? Who wants to see that? So Natalie posted these screenshots. She posted these text messages. She wants y'all to think that Judy is blowing her phone up, begging to be on Baddies, when it's actually the other way around. When Natalie asked, she didn't beg. I don't think Natalie begged Judy, but she presented the offer. Natalie likes to hold it over these girls' heads like a carrot or a piece of cheese, and you're an animal. and I think that's just like her way of like leverage and power and control and manipulation. She's always been that way. Now this was the last straw for Judy. When Judy saw the text messages that she posted, when Judy saw that not only did Natalie post text messages, but she deleted text messages, Judy took to her story, okay? And this is what Miss J had to say. Let's put it up here on the screen. Let me take a puff before we read this. Judy says, I'm not about to defend texts after she said she wanted to bring me back, but respond to the allegations of drugging minors. Respond to the allegations of drugging minors. Stealing people's ideas. Running off with people's money. And cosplaying the same women you looked down on a decade ago. Let's talk about the real issues at hand. A read. Ooh, Natalie, she ate you up so eloquently. And that's the thing, when you got good grammar and you can read and a sentence flows, it sticks better. Stick like grits. Natalie's post I had to like kind of like slowly read because she loves to brag about being a USC graduate and all this, but I think you mainly excelled in soccer, and that was it, Natalie. When it comes to academics, maybe you weren't. That was not your strong suit because you always type in all caps. You never punctuate sentences. You always have run-on sentences or incomplete sentences. You can't spell. But let's talk about it. Oh, Judy also says, by the way, texts were deleted. Once again, there is no beef. It's a podcast, and on there we talk. Thank you for the promo and support. Now, again, like I said, now Judy, y'all know that when you said that, Natalie, you were going to get a reaction out of her, or it was going to create some buzz, or it might hit a blog, or the fans might see it, or they might send it to her. We can't gaslight Natalie into believing that you did nothing wrong. Now, do I think you had bad intentions? Okay, maybe not, right? You're on a podcast, you're talking about your opinions. But we have to acknowledge that, yes, that's hurtful. But we can't ignore the fact that a lot of these accusations, we're going to call them accusations because that's what they are, it's not like Judy's just blowing smoke out of her ass. There's been a lot of things that we can back this up with, right? The allegations of drugging. Now, I don't know about them being minors. I can't remember, but I know we did a story on that boy from Texas. Y'all remember that boy from Texas who came out and said that he felt like Natalie put something in his drink or something, and he showed receipts where they had hung out, where they were effing, allegedly, or they were laid up in a hotel room. We saw the video of them laid up. We saw them out to dinner, and he said that one night he felt like there was something in his drink. He couldn't remember what was going on. When he asked Natalie what was going on, she said she didn't know. He said he was going to expose her, and she had somebody jump him, allegedly. This is what this boy said. I did a video on it. You can go back and look if you want to go watch that. Now, I don't know if he was a minor at the time or not. I can't remember. I cannot remember. I know he was very young, though, at the time of the video. 23 or 24 now, and this happened some years ago. So I don't know. Maybe that's what Judy's referring to. If not, what minors is she talking? Child, it's a lot going on over there. I'm telling you. When there's smoke, there's fire. Stealing people's ideas. That's happened. Natalie took the idea that they all had come up with. Remember, we're not gonna go back and just dive all into it. But before Baddies, Natalie was collaborating with the Victor twins, Danny and Gabby. She was collaborating with Shannon and what's the other girl's name? The real masculine girl. I can't think of her name. Shannon and Shanrock, whoever they were, Rocky. Rocky. It was Christina, it was Judy, it was Sarah, and it was Tiana, and they were all collaborating on this Bad Girls Redemption comeback show, right? Remember, they were doing it on OnlyFans at first. And it was bad bitch reunion is what they were calling it, which I thought everything. First of all, the name was corny. Putting it on OnlyFans, I didn't really think was the best idea, but I digress. Anyway, they all had this idea to do this show together. Natalie gets in touch with Zeus. They want to. They want to buy the idea. Natalie pretends it's her idea only. She says, "Fuck you, girls." She runs off and gets the bag, right? That's stealing people's ideas, running off with people's money. They made a lot. They remember they did the bad bitch reunion on OnlyFans, and they did it for. They before Zeus came in, they were actually filming this for OnlyFans and uploading it. And Natalie, they had one bank account that the girls were sharing. This is according to Judy and Sarah. They had one bank account that all the OnlyFans money was going into. That Judy and Sarah and Natalie, I think all the girls had access to the bank account. And they said Natalie allegedly came along and swiped the funds up. So that's what she's talking to there. And we already know what she means when she says cosplaying the same woman you looked down on a decade ago. Over a decade ago. And Natalie was on BGC4. We know she's made a lot of degrading comments about black women. Dark-skinned women, let's say that. Darker-skinned women. Hurtful, offensive comments, and we're not going to get into that. You can go back and look that up if you want to get into that, because it's definitely out there. But Judy versus Natalie, it's going down. I almost said sadly. Oh Lord, I didn't mean to say it; just came off my tongue. But whose side are you on, and who do you agree with here? I mean, I feel like it's. Listen, some could say Judy threw the rock first, but I feel like they were just talking on their podcast. Even though you know what? I kind of understand both of them a little bit. I'm gonna give both of them a little leeway, a little slack. Okay. Let me know what you guys think by getting in the comment section below. I would love to hear y'all's opinion. Subscribe to the channel by clicking my name below. You'll never miss an episode. Like this video by clicking thumbs up. That helps me get in the algorithm. And if you want to donate to my new part-time job, in the description box below will be your way to donate. Thank you so much for your support. I love you guys from the bottom of my heart, and I'll see you soon where we'll be talking more baddies, Bad Girls Club, reality TV trash and drama, and so much more. Okay, I love you. We'll see you next time.